amen. Stand by her side. Don't ever walk away. Show the world she's your pride and joy. Tell her she's beautiful every day.
You're listening to We P3 Radio, produced with a partnership of Reach Across America Radio with the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and to teach the future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served our country. Currently on We P3 Radio, you'll make her cry. Matt Williams.
And there's nowhere in the world she'd rather be. And you gotta give her love and pure devotion, or one day you're gonna turn and watch her leave, and you'll make her cry.
Left your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it on.
Doctors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 and 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it on.
Hello. It's Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project, and we are here for another one of our weekly shows. It is 27 October 2024, and we have got a cool show lined up for you. Every week we bring you a guest. Sometimes we bring a new artist and we share all the good and sometimes not so good things happening in our world. Our We Got Your 6 at 6 shows every Sunday at, you know what, it's super convenient for those of us in the Central Time Zone because it's 6 o'clock p.m. It's 1800 Central Time. For everybody else, just so you know, this week we have an amazing guest. We're going to hear about, oh gosh, so Josh Holm is here with Steel Hope. He's got an amazing story of his very own. And then he has got another amazing story about Steel Hope Foundation and the things that he's been working on. I talked to him about a year ago, and they were looking at buying this ranch and doing cool things with it. And it sounds a lot like what People's Patriot Project has talked about too. So I can't wait to hear where they are now. And they've got some really cool things coming up. Our sponsors tonight, you guys, Catch 22 with Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong, the Boho Hobos Hideaway. This is Lauren Iozio. And then our very own Kimmer Gwinner. She will hopefully be around in the next couple of weeks to share some more of her writing and her poetry. We also have Brian Kenzer here. He's with us. He supports WP3. You can contact Brian to discuss getting on the right side of your health, supporting American families, jobs, and the economy, and supporting the People's Patriot Project mission. It's all wrapped into one. And I've got a link here. He's here. He will probably be speaking a little bit tonight as well. So I'm going to share that link with you all. You guys, I'm adding, it's cool shopping. First of all, you shop from your table or your phone or in the car, wherever you are. And I've been trying so many new products. It's super cool. And amazingly energetic and healthy feeling as well. So check that out. We are here, the People's Patriot Project. We Got Your 6 at 6 airs every Sunday night at 1800 Central Time. But if you miss it, you can catch it next Sunday, or you can catch last week's this Sunday. That's how that works. It's on at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, so 10 o'clock Central. You can find Reads Across America Radio, because that's where we are, on the iHeart Radio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Just search Wreaths and it'll show up. Actually, I think I have a link for that as well. And you guys, we are now hosting our radio station with the Reads Across America Radio app, or platform. And so you can also find WP3 Radio, which I'm sure we'll talk about a time or two throughout the show tonight. Actually, it was on when we started. So if you were here at the beginning, you heard some music right off WP3 Radio. And it's just getting bigger and better. It's amazing. It's going to be super cool. I just want to thank our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. And before we start this week's show, I would ask that you take off your hats, stand if you can, and cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh my gosh, I love the pledge. You know what the cool thing is? In about 14 hours, I say it with my students Monday morning. Boom.
There you go. Boom. You're done. We are here. It is October 27th. Yikes. We got 1 week. 1 week. We make it very hard. We don't make it hard. It's actually really easy. It's not to politicalize our show. We don't do politics. And we believe that, there's a way to live this life where you're not in the ear of everyone about politics. But at the same time, we all have a duty. We all have a job. We all have a piece of this investment in being part of this great country. And that is taking up your pen and taking the time to, a little bit over a week from right now, you have the opportunity to vote for the leadership of this country. And I don't care what side you vote for. I don't care. What I want you to do is to vote. Just vote. I think if we just vote, we will get the leadership that is. And I mean, you could get deep into this and say, you know what, the Bible says this, society says this, your mom says this. Jonathan, what does your mom say? What does your mom say about this? She say go vote? Your microphone's off.
She definitely says go vote.
Go vote. Just go vote.
In fact, I want to say last voting cycle, she actually volunteered at the polls for her area. So she's definitely about voting, supporting, and using your voice for something that could benefit yourself for sure, but your entire community.
I do not. This is not me tooting my own horn. It is just another option when you don't like the way things are going and you think and you are so proactive. I thought it was my civil duty not only to vote, but I also thought it was my civil duty to take the entire day off and be an election judge for my state. And so that is another piece that I think is critical. I mean, you know what? You can let things enter your ears and you can let it bounce around your head for a minute, and you can listen to what the media says, and one side says this and one side says that and this and that. You know what? Bottom line, if you're not there to witness and be part of it, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's not an attack on anybody whatsoever. But I know that in a space that I am a judge and leader, that I know that we follow the rules and we do what we do and we do it. I think we do it well. So if you have a question, you think there's a problem, get involved. That's what I say. That's also why we got We the People's Patriot Project, and we got your 6 at 6. It used to be called Picture Playtime. I don't know why that's so easy to run off the back of my head. But
wait a minute. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Mark, does that mean after the election, when you start the show, we're all going to have to rise when you come in?
For what part? Which part?
Well, when the judge comes in, I'll rise, right?
No. Only until I become president will we do that. That's
I
That's something that definitely should happen.
Can we see you in your judge's robe? Can you wear that to our next show?
I'll wear one of the periwigs as well, right? And have the gavel. Oh, our guest was here, and now he dipped out.
Oh,
again.
shoot. He popped out.
We're messing around too much. Oh, he might be coming back.
He'll be here. He'll be here. He's coming.
Oh, he's here. Everyone relax. Yeah, we got Mr. Holm right here. He's coming in large and in charge. Oh, he was there. There he is. He's back again. We got Mr. Holm. He's in the house. Good to have you, brother.
Hey, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing Mark, but everybody else, I think I can hear.
Mark, you might check your messages quick. You might want to pop in and pop out and pop back in.
I'm going to do that. Yes, let me do that.
Maybe Jonathan can tell us about what's happening, in the news world while he's gone.
Yeah,
I can manage that. It's so good to see you.
Glad to be here.
I'm going to cover this news slowly to give Mark time. October is winding down, coming to an end, but it's a month that definitely has many focal points that we should be aware of. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Country Music Month, Emotional Wellness Month, National Disability Employment Awareness Month, National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's also National Depression Education and Awareness Month. Getting a little more specific, October 28th tomorrow is National First Responders Day, and Congress would designate this day back in 2017. National First Responders Day recognizes the heroic men and women who make it their business to take immediate action when disaster strikes, running towards danger while others are running away. Whether you've had your own emergency or not, it's not hard to understand and appreciate the dangers and difficulty in the work that these people do. First responders face high risk virtually every time they step out onto the front lines. It's quite possibly America's most dangerous career. I got a few statistics that would hopefully shed a little light on that danger. But approximately 100 firefighters will die in the line of duty each year. An estimated 240 million 911 calls are made in the U.S. per year, and the fire department responds to a fire every 24 seconds somewhere in the U.S. Emergency medical services, EMS, will take care of 22 million patients a year. So not only are these guys extremely active, stepping into somewhat dangerous situations and doing things that some of us wouldn't have the stomach to handle, but they're also doing it and stretched extremely thin while they're doing it. Today is the day that daylight savings time ends, so make sure, if you're not on the old smartwatch or smartphone alarm clock these days, make sure you set your alarm clocks back. You'll probably have to set your stove and microwaves and things like that back. So don't get confused. Set your coffee pots back so that they make coffee in time for you to get up in the morning. Very important. So remember to do all that stuff before you go to bed tonight. And that is the news. Oh, we got you back.
That is seriously this weekend? Oh, it sounds much better.
All right. Thank you. Sorry. Next weekend, right, Jonathan?
Oh, that's next weekend, yeah.
Oh, I was freaking out.
I
I'm
must
like,
have been
oh,
looking a week ahead. That's next weekend. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Next weekend.
So everyone go ahead and go set your clocks back now and see where that gets you. I mean,
just be early.
We get you an extra hour of productivity.
You'll be early for everything for a whole week. It'll be awesome. Speaking from someone who's early.
Andrea,
stop.
Andrea,
you're right. I should.
Daylight savings time for you all the time, everywhere. No matter what. It's no matter what.
It's heads up, all of you. You should all give me start time a good 10 minutes earlier than what you really want, because then I can probably make it. And I don't say that proudly. I just know myself very well. Look at Jeremy. Protect the coffee, though.
Protect it. Protect it well.
Frank.
Mr. Holm, welcome to the show tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me, brother. I appreciate you guys so much.
Are you running a lemonade stand or something over there?
Yes. So we actually have a hand squeezed lemonade and gourmet popcorn business that we run under our nonprofit. It's sort of like our Girl Scout cookies for our nonprofit. It's the number one way that we are fundraising. We started it just as like helping somebody else do that, and then it kind of fell apart, and we were only like basically doing it as an outreach. And then I realized that we could do everything that they were doing, and we already had everything to do it with. And then 100% of all the proceeds could go directly to the programs and services of Still Hope. So we have a free outreach, but we also have a way that we can, connect with other people, but it's actually making us money rather than costing us money to try to be at events and stuff. And then so then it's physical therapy for me being a disabled veteran and getting me stronger, because I make hand squeezed lemonades, which we're shaking them in my hand. I make gourmet popcorn, which I've created all the flavors and make everything from scratch. So it keeps my brain tight, keeps everything going. And at the same time, it's a way to network with other people, and it gets you to a lot of events, because when you get to an event as a nonprofit, a lot of times some of these things are waived. But when you have larger events, you still have to pay like the booth fees and travel and all the other things like that. And then this offsets it. So then everything we're doing is raising money but also giving awareness, and it's giving great customer service, and also being able to teach other people what we're doing to make a difference. So I call it for a purpose.
That is outstanding. And I mean, that completely jumps the gun with all the other questions I have for you right now, but and that's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's super good. But no, that's really good. That's exciting because there's a lot of times like we'll go set up our booth and we don't necessarily get the foot traffic we'd like to see because I don't know why they end up when you have 100 or 200 veteran organizations in the same spot or same place and you don't necessarily have a product. You know, they may come by and they want to pick up all the free stuff like silicone wristbands and pins and stick pins and writing pins and all that. No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
we have a product we'd like to get out there. It's called Patriot Punch, but it comes with a punch, so I don't know if it is.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of people, what they do is they'll take our lemonade, especially like biker batches, stuff like that, whatever. They'll take a lemonade and then they add their adult beverage to it, which is fine, 100% for us because we're still making the money and then they're still getting what they want at the end of the day. You know, but our main thing is really networking because, like I said, we have this is our original kettle corn, and so I made it where it's a Ziploc bag. This is small. This sells for $5, but then also at the same time, once I get this this stuff seamless, which I say I'm probably a couple weeks away from having it where I can actually ship this product out, where I can make everything with cottage label. If you guys are doing an event, I can make a custom label with it, taking care of the cottage label, send it directly to you guys, and so then you guys are raising money for your organization or your event or whatever you're doing in that sense.
Hey, slow down, Josh. Don't get that secret out there, okay? Keep that's post-show conversation. You don't share it with the world that. Well, people be knocking on your door and be wanting you. Then you're going to outgrow your underwear like we have, and then that's no. This is exciting stuff. Absolutely. Tell me your flavors of popcorn you got rolling.
Okay, yes. So today I've got my gourmet butter, which we make everything by hand. So I put everything in my kettle. So I make my own cream, make my own butter fillet, and then. But everything is made in the kettle. And then I usually have a sweet heat, which is the Cajun-based kettle corn. So it's a sweet salty popcorn, which a Cajun seasoning added at a certain time, it's called a warm shake. And then I have original sweet and salty popcorn called kettle corn. That's what I had today. Sometimes I'll have what's called Monster Mash, which is 5 different flavors of popcorn. And then throughout the year, I have it's called Freedom Corn, which is actually a blue raspberry, cherry, and our original kettle. So it's red, white, and blue.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yep.
Love it.
Well, and like I said, it's a waste. So like I said, so then we have the small bag here, and that's why I put the zip on it here. Got a thermal label here, and then we have the traditional bags here. So these are our $10 bags here, and so that sells. This is my gourmet butter, and it sells like hotcakes. And so, I mean, and it stays fresh for several weeks, guys. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, and everything is made by hand. That's what's all about it is the fact that we're raising money for the foundation, getting awareness of what we're doing, but also because it's a trade secret. That's what my slogan is: our heart beats for others, and that's what Still Hope is all about: is sharing that information and wealth. That's why I love you guys so much, because you guys are freely giving information out there, and you're networking. You know what I'm saying, with organizations and creating the change that really we ought to be seeing. But because a lot of people are behind the fact that they're looking for either a bill or they're looking for a grant to be able to do something, they know exactly what they need to do to make a difference, but they're not doing it because they're not getting paid to. And so we're getting paid while we're raising money through the foundation, which is 100% all volunteer organization and has been for 10 years.
Out freaking standing. So let's go back to our first question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who are you?
Okay. So really, the thing is, it's not who am I, it's whose am I. The thing is, what I am, I'm an Army veteran. I'm just an Army veteran. That small Arkansas boy that grew up, you know what I'm saying, when 9/11 hit, I was already in the service. And then I switched from reserve, well, actually AGR component, active guard reserve, and went full-time active duty. And then I went to Iraq, and I got injured over there multiple times, came back on 2 feet, tried to act like nothing ever happened. So if I had to ask who I was, I'm just the man of steel. I'm just a man that's been badly hurt, but yet so healed. I've been healed by my mind. My spirit has been healed, and all I do is share my hope with other people. So that's who I am. I'm an injured war veteran that has found purpose through my pain rather than excusing everything because of pain.
Well, I can already tell you're a blessing to the world, and the energy is infectious, and we appreciate it. So you have an organization. Tell us about the organization.
Yeah. Okay. So Still Hope. Okay. So our mission statement is to build and empower others to be people who will continually be still, which is my motto: believe, expand, stand, transform, encourage, enlighten, and love. So to wrap it all up, it means be a legacy. And so there's three things that I do every day, Mark. And I have, even though I can't walk right now because of a spinal cord injury and other things like that have progressed, but you still see me out here making a difference. And I don't even let, I mean, they call me Hot Wheels now because I'm just rolling everywhere, bro. But guess what? One good thing about being in the wheelchair is the fact that you don't leave you don't leave footprints. And the thing is too, you're always rolling. So
always rolling, always getting it done.
Absolutely. Yeah, but the thing about what did the military teach us though? Taught us to suck it up, drive on, shoot, move, and communicate, adapt, and overcome. And a lot of times, what happens is because we have been conditioned that we are afraid to be reconditioned. And really, because if you're conditioned, then you can be broken. But if you're reconditioned, then you're becoming softer rather than being broken. It's all about being tangible because you have to think about it. Because all we are is a tree in the storm, and what saves us is our sap. It makes us bendable, and we don't break. But without sap, you break. And so that's why you have to have safeties in place. So what is Still Hope? Still Hope is a human service organization that has a warrior division in there, but we're all about humanity. It's all about uplifting people and teaching people that no matter what, there is still hope, no matter what happens, period. That's what I tell people. I say when you look over yourself, your circumstances, and your situation, you'll see there's a hurting world all around you, and the world needs two things, brother: help and hope. We don't measure help, and we don't measure hope. Help is help, hope is hope. So no matter how small or no matter how big it is, that is still hope. That's what we're all about, man. That's where our heart is, that one that beats for others. And I can tell you, I mean, I'm a ball of energy, but you know what? I'm in a lot of pain. And rather than allow my pain to excuse my actions, I had to realize that I have a disability. I'm not disabled. So my definition of being disabled is allowing your inabilities to scuff out your current abilities. So I have a disability. I'm not disabled.
Boom, boom, and boom. We could just stop the show now because the message is clear. The mission is strong. And clearly, this young man, Mr. Holm, does not slow down for a second. We appreciate you, brother. Miss Eichmann, I did, because I had to do the reset. Did we get through shout outs?
No,
okay.
I didn't do shout outs. Yeah.
Jeremy Daniels, good to see you, brother. Always present, always here, always doing his thing. We've got a lot of others here, and they might have dipped in and dipped out. We've got Heroes Media Group here religiously supporting us because they are part of our board, and we are enjoying the things with Adam Bird and what he does for us. Thank you. The amazing Amanda is in-house. Thank you. And Your Mission, and she's going to be coming up onto the show here pretty soon, too, from what I understand. Again, Jeremy Daniels. We had Mr. Kenzer was here. Frank the Myth. Thank you for being here, brother. Being retired, it doesn't really matter a lot to me. I don't know what that was referring to, and I apologize. Should have got to it earlier. We got Gary Hine from Texas. Good to see you, brother. Always got a smile, always doing his thing. Gotta love it. Thank you, Gary, for being here. And we'll have others slip in throughout the time. Jonathan, what do you got for our first song tonight?
Well, I keep hearing this a lot of use of the word hope, and going through I'm looking at these song titles, and I feel like for me this song says hope, and this is a recording from our show. We didn't have a MP3 of him, but this is Frank Gonzalez, and I Can Only Imagine.
That's awesome.
I also host open mics on Wednesdays in downtown Cocoa Beach.
Oh, I think we dropped it, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, good. I'll press play again.
I also host open mics on Wednesdays in downtown Cocoa Beach and Thursdays in Cocoa. Again, two cities that should never be confused with each other, but they often are. Difference. There's a giant island between them called Merritt Island, which is home to Kennedy Space Center and the Coast Guard. Anyway, I usually start my open mic singing this song right here because it means a lot to a lot of people. It means a lot to me. Well, I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine, yeah. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all will be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. But I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself sitting in the sun. I can only imagine what all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, yeah. But I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or it all will be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Hey, I can only imagine. I can only imagine what all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine.
Oh my gosh, I love that song. Oh,
It does it the first time, it does it the last time, it does it every time. It's just a bunch of holy ghost bumps. And we in Minnesota we have a Christian radio station called KTIS, and I was at my sister's house this morning, and that came on, and I sent a message to Mr. Gonzalez real quick, and thank you for your mission, Mr. Gonzalez, and your amazing words and your passion down in Florida, and what you're getting done down there. We hope to have him on again soon, and just share his mission of hope as well through his music. And it is probably one of the most profound songs in the history of mankind, in my opinion. In the fact that if you are ready and willing and want to meet your creator, so to speak, this is a conversation. What is that conversation going to look like when you meet that creator? Wow. Have you done it? Did you lay down? Or what did you do? And so I think that's a gigantic piece of accountability when it comes to our service with the mission, our service after the mission, and what we do in life in general. So again, thanks to Mr. Gonzalez for that amazing song. But today we have, now Mr. Kinzer's back. Did you have a chance to share what you wanted to tonight, Mr. Kinzer?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I don't know what happened. I froze up and it completely crashed my computer.
Oh.
So that was a bummer. You hear me okay?
We got you.
Good. I'm back. So yeah, I just want to echo what Mark said. I encourage everybody to get out next week and vote for our leadership. And I agree with you. It doesn't matter which side you vote for. The fact is that you get out and vote. But I am going to also encourage you to vote a way that we vote every day, and that's with the dollars that we spend. There's a reason that our imports to this country are in the billions and billions of dollars. It's because it's easy and it's cheap. We go online to Amazon or stores that fill their shelves with imported products. And I'm on a little bit of a crusade to get people to shop American and support American jobs and American families and bolster our economy here in the United States. So I'm asking you to switch stores. Try our store. Try another American store. The nice thing about our store, gets you on your good side of health, and also supports WP3, which is very important to me. So come and check us out. There's a link in the webpage. Following that will just get you to me, and then I'll set up a little bit of a tour, show you around, show you what we do, show you how you can help. So keep voting, vote for your leaders, and vote for America. Thanks.
Thank you for your words, Mr. Kinzer. And it is part of the mission. It is part of keeping, I don't know, man. It's, I don't know why it's that hard to figure out. In the fact that, if we keep our dollars here in America, we get to prosper off the dollars, and our economy grows because of that. And I don't know. Don't want to get too much into the weeds on this, but we appreciate your mission, and we thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for all the support for the People's Patriot Project.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
We lost visual with Mr. Holm. I was getting ready to ask him a question.
Ooh, he'll be back, I'm sure of it.
And so now we just punt. Who did we follow this weekend for college football? Jonathan.
Oh boy, here we go.
You really can.
Did they lose?
You are so dirty. I was following the Penn State.
Penn State.
Penn State. Were you?
No, I was LSU all the way. So.
I voted for LA at one moment, LA this weekend, but that was the Los Angeles Dodgers, not LA, short for Louisiana. And we did see that. You know what? I'm going to be super honest. Anyone that is playing the Yankees, that's the team I'm going for. That's just what I believe in. So, granted, it is also a conference issue for me too. But anyone that's playing against the Yankees, you got my vote. Josh, you follow college football at all?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough.
So I played soccer. That was my sport. And when I got to a place where I couldn't play anymore, then I just stopped watching it because it stopped being fun. I like being at the games and stuff like that. Anything. It don't matter. Baseball, basketball, soccer. Like I said, I mean, I love soccer. I used to referee soccer. I was the second youngest referee to be FIFA certified at 8 years old. So.
Well, we appreciate that too.
Absolutely.
I don't get to ask Eichmann this question because
Yeah,
it's
you know.
not a fair question. And Kinzer, did you follow any college football this weekend?
Well, I have to go with Jonathan. I watched Penn State, but I was hoping for him to lose. I thought Wisconsin was gonna pull it off, but at the end they fell down. It was bad.
That's a tough one for me in the fact that, you know, Wisconsin is a border battle for Minnesota, but you know, Penn is up there right now, and they do need to be fitted into their britches a little bit better. But I don't know if you guys we got a little team here in the state of Minnesota, little tiny raging rabbit killing clawing biting mighty Gophers. I don't know if you saw what they did to Maryland this weekend, but you know, I think at one point we put our 6th grade team in against Maryland and it didn't even make a difference. So and that's fine. That's good. We just have fun with it. It's fun. I have to rib Jonathan a little bit because his tiny kitties couldn't pull it off this weekend. And who did they play again?
Fighting
Jonathan?
Tigers. They're the fighting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's close. It's close.
Is that breed a hairless cat, by the way?
It might as well be.
Oh,
don't say bad things about your team. Don't say bad things about your team.
I'm so sorry.
Mr. Holm, you kind of gave us an introduction to Still Hope.
Yeah.
What are the things that you're working on right now?
Okay, so actually next Saturday is going to be our largest event of the year. And so we have 2 annual events called Unity Field. And so we have a physical property that we're in the process of building a ranch and retreat for warriors, special needs, and so on. But it's going to take a lot of connecting of the dots to build this facility, because once we get everything done, it will be a 1 to 7 day retreat for veterans, first responders, and their families to come and basically have an R&R and then also a networking effort where we can kind of get together and, you know, but we all can also work with transitions. Help people that have battled with addiction, help people that have gone through traumas, this and the other. And we can do that on a daily and a monthly basis once we get everything done. But right now, what we can do is we have the property and we have a field. And at one time, like during all this pandemic stuff, this and the other, is people had to be outside. You know, they really couldn't be in close quarters, this and the other. So it made it perfect. So then I went and spoke at an event, and it had all these American flags and his hero banners everywhere. And a mother of a Ghost Star mother, her son was killed in Mogadishu, Somalia. He's in the movie Black Hawk Down, and so her name is Gail Joyce. Her son was Joyce in the movie. She said, why don't you take this concept to the area where you're at? When I spoke at that event, I said, well, it's not all developed. She said, you have a field? I said, yes, I have a field. She said, put the flags in the field. So we called it Unity Field. And so Unity is united, noble individuals together yearning. It's a place of gathering. It's a place of growing. It's a place of flowing. And the way I look at it is, I mean, so what we do is we put 500 American flags in a field. We put these hero banners going down there, and we keep them there for a week, 2 weeks. Like in May, we kept it there for an entire month. For the entire month of May, it was a month to remember. And then in November, it's a month of thanks. And so we're offsetting it on a day, and we have a Veterans Day event, but ours is November 2nd. So the people that are associated with other organizations, and especially veterans and stuff, they would actually have a place where they could physically come and be a part of something, rather than just being, you know, saying, having always served. That we want to serve them as well and show our support for their sacrifice service, and we want to honor them as well. And so that's why we're doing November 2nd. And so we put 500 American flags. We have it's called Hot Rod. That's actually a national treasure. He bows to the American flag. He's a special made horse, and that's why the boots are on the horse backwards. It's a riderless horse. And then we have a car show, which is just way to raise money, let people know what we're doing. We've had one of the original general leads there 3 times now, and there's only 18 of them left in circulation. And then we're bringing a tribute flag all the way from Ohio, and it's coming to our Unity Field. But we have a special presentation we're doing. This one is called Global War on Terrorism, and this is a memorial flag. And what we're doing is we're going to be building the 3rd one for the United States and the 1st one in the South. So this will be built under our foundation with a partnership of VAU, Veterans and Athletes United, which is another 100% volunteer organization, where all their proceeds go to their programs and services like Still Hope. So once it's built, it will be called the Texas Memorial Flag. It will be the first representation of the South, but it will be a portable flag that stands 6 feet tall, 28 feet long, made of 50 gold stars for the Gold Star families, and is made of nothing other than that is over 7,000 engraved dog tags from the global war on terrorism to current heroes.
Wow.
And so I have 6 of my guys on there, and I'm honored to be able to bring this. And how I even knew about this was I went to the Armed Forces Bowl last year, guys, and there was tens of thousands of veterans there. And the founder gave the volunteer who brought in the flag 1 physical coin. And there was tens of thousands of veterans there. And I went and I put my hands on the wall and I prayed over the wall. And the gentleman came up to me and he shook my hand. He said, "Did you serve, sir?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did serve." And he said, "Thank you for your sacrifice and your service." Put the coin in my hand, gave me a hug. And I that was it. It was done. And so I gave him my information and said, "Would you guys think about doing this in Texas?" I said, "Would you please pass along my information to the founder?" He did. His name is James Howard, who's special operations captain, who's retired and everything. And James told me, he said, "Man, I'm so busy, I can't do this." But this is what James said, and this is why they went with us as a partnership. It's because we did not want to change one thing about this wall. We wanted their tribute and their logo on this. All we wanted to do, we wanted to be an extension for an outreach for them, but we also wanted to be an impact and be the first representation of the South and to the East. So this can go all over the country, and it will once it's built. But it will be housed at our ranch in Still Freedom Ranch in a little small rural area called Mineral Wells, Texas, which is about an hour from DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And it's west of Dallas and west of Fort Worth. And so, but I'm honored to have this because it's going to take about $30,000 seed money to be able to start building the flag. But once it's built, this will be, this is going to help with veteran suicide awareness because it's going to be education on top of liberation. Education because we're going to be able to teach about the honor, service, and sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be able to salute because there's a soldier cross in front of it, and it says John 15:13, which says that no greater love is there than a friend to lay its life down. And that's my Savior Christ who laid it all down for us. And so if that doesn't shake your heart to the core, then you're heartless. And the thing is, like, if that doesn't show what America is all about the service and sacrifice, because it's about us as service members saying yes. It was our service, but it's our family sacrifice. There are so many families that have sacrificed so much and never asked for a thing. And so I am honored to be able to bring this to Texas, and then also to be able to build the 3rd that will be a representation and an outreach for Still Hope and VAU. And then once built, it will also be a fundraiser. All the proceeds, once built, then all the proceeds will be divided. 50% will go to Gold Star Family Programs that are already vetted through VAU. Great organizations like Gary Sinise Foundation, you know what I'm saying, and other amazing organizations like that. And Gold Star outreach programs, just R&R programs for them, whatever as well. And then the other 50% will be going directly to programs and services of Still Hope to put together things like Unity Field and for us to have the 1 to 7 day retreat for our veterans, first responders, and their families. So it's an impact to our nation, but it is an outreach, you know what I'm saying, for us, an extension of VAU.
I'm going to poke the bear here a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming at some point or sometime, someone said to Josh, "What the hell are you doing, Josh?" What was your response to them?
Yeah. Well, okay. It actually first started with my wife. My wife actually put me in the corner. She said, "You know what? You're a disabled veteran." And you know what I'm saying? I think, and I'm not saying you didn't get hurt, but what I'm saying is, what are you doing with your pain now? And she said, you know what? You need a timeout? I need a timeout. And she put me in the corner. And when she put me in the corner, that was the best thing she could have ever done for me, because she loved me so much. Because it says in the word, it says open rebuke is better than love hidden, right? So she loved me. And so because she loved me, she had to put me in my place, which was the best thing she could have done. Because while I was in that corner, there was two magical things that happened. One, I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw, so I looked away. And I heard a voice say, Joshua, what do you see? And I didn't like what I saw, so I didn't say nothing. Then I heard the same voice say again, Joshua, what do you see? And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, and this is what I spoke. I said, I see a victim. That voice whispered back to me, not yelled at me like I yelled at it, and said, I see a victor. And that is when Joshua home broke. That is when I wrote 8 letters to God, because my wife said, babe, you've got to find purpose through your pain. See, a lot of times when we feel pain, guys, we stop. But I realized that pain is part of the process of your perfection. It's not the purpose, it's the process. But without going through that process, you are never going to do anything.
Interesting. I like this. I mean, I'm gonna please take no offense to this. First, I'm like, we've got a wife putting her disabled husband in the corner. That's not a very nice thing to do. That's
sometimes that's where the lesson happens, though.
Yeah,
it is. So there's got to be some people that have walked into your life and said, Josh, there's no way you're going to get this done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. And so what do you do with the doubters and the haters? Okay, what do? You take the fire that they're trying to burn you with and you use it to be productive. So, I mean, the thing is, it's different. There's so many contenders out there, Mark, but when you're not in competition, you're not a contender. You can have the frame of a champion and you remain steady. People are watching what you do. See, people focus on what you focus on. If you focus on your purpose, then despite the pain, it's just a fuel that's going to help you have that purpose. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, period. And they call me the comeback kid for a reason, because I've been in this wheelchair. This is now the 4th time I've been in this wheelchair. Now, this is the most severe, because I was walking with the use of braces like Forrest Gump, except where I had swag, and I was doing push-ups on 2 thumbs all over the world. They know me as a man with 2 thumbs down. And so I did a campaign called 22 Healed in 2019 for 22 days consecutive. I mastered what's called Bruce Lee push-ups, which is on doing an index finger, like an index finger and a thumb, doing push-ups on just that, with a broken back, shattered legs, being a stroke victim, and also having severe traumatic brain injury with the loss of use of lower extremities without the use of braces. So I used what everyone else would take themselves out of action, say, okay, I'm disabled, this thing I can't do. I'd stop focusing on the things I couldn't do, Mark, and I began to look at the one thing I could do, and then I mastered the one thing I do. Because this is what Bruce Lee did. He did not learn 10,000 kicks. What he did is he did one kick 10,000 times. So he mastered that one kick. And when you master that one thing you can do, then you begin to connect with everybody else, and you gain a perfect balance. And then you're able to just be spot on in what you do it well.
I'm inspired, brother. I'm inspired. It's not hard to be inspired, and that it's the passion is real in life. What has anyone ever told you to slow down?
Absolutely. And so this is what I do, is I do slow down, and that's where things happen. I'm not doing things fast, but I'm doing things consistently. And so change. Okay, so this is a very easy word for me. So you guys will know that I have a severe traumatic brain injury, like I told you guys, but I have a severe traumatic brain injury that has a severe brain injury that has memory loss. So how have I been able to adapt and overcome through that aspect? Is because I put things into an accordion file. Like, I'm a life coach, so I lift individuals for eternity. So I put the word life into 4 principles. And that's how I live my life. And that's how I teach others to live, through principles. And so rather than making things complicated, I bring simplicity and bring complexity to it, not confusion or chaos. And so what I've learned to do is just focus on the one thing I could do, like change. You realize if you change yourself 1% every day, in 100 days, you're a whole other person. So in 1 year, brother, you can change yourself 3 times and take 65 days off. So change is not hard, but you need 2 things to have change. You have to be consistent and persistent. Persistence means that you push through no matter how much it hurts. And consistency means you do it every day, no matter what happens, no matter what people say, no matter what somebody else is doing, or no matter how you feel. You get up and change somebody's life every day. So I did it with the braces by doing 3 things: strap on, shut up, and step out. Strap on means find security outside yourself. These are principles. Shut up. People don't like to hear that word, but oftentimes the things you need are the things you really don't like. Okay, so shut up means shut up the pain and shut off the excuses. So I had to define what is an excuse. It's an exemption of action. So if you exempt yourself from taking action, then all you're doing is you're allowing yourself to be a crutch. Other than a crutch is made, it's an aided device to help get you back on your feet. It's not meant to keep you off your feet. And then step out means get out of your comfort zone and help somebody every single day, no matter what happens. So you're given 86,400 seconds in a day. That's how many seconds we have in a day. But it's like, what are you doing? And are you living each day to its fullest, no matter what? Because see, Andrea knows, but on June 28th, brother, I had one of the most severe GI tears they've seen. I had 19 or 25 centimeters torn. They said less than 5 minutes later, I would not be here. For 33 days, brother, I was nonverbal and I had to speak on it. I had to use a tablet. So now my wife has found her voice, and she's using TikTok and other things like that as a voice to be able to triumph and share people and help them doing her devotion and networking and so on like that, whatever. And we have a TikToker that actually wrote a $17,000 and $5,000 seed money to bring the flag, $66,000 seed money to bring the flag, and $10,000 seed money to start building the flag. So we've already raised $10,000 with my wife just helping somebody else go through some things. And so, and it's amazing. And we didn't even do a big fundraiser or anything. We hadn't opened up the everything to show people what we're doing. All we're doing is we're consistently creating change every single day, no matter what.
I have to say, I was just looking back at my messages, and I met Josh a year ago in June, so not quite a year and a half ago. And this was just beginning. This was all, he's like, look at this look at this house, look at what I'm doing. And it was so cool to see just like the beginnings and the knowing the foundation and his energy and everything, where it came from. And now where you are, Josh, this is like 15 months. It's been an amazing growth, and not without its setbacks. I mean, the belief that you have and the strength that you have that comes from inside is gotten you here. It's gotten you this far, and it'll continue to go.
Well, and also, you know, just like, as you know, with your organization, what keeps you so strong is your volunteers and your board and your other people that believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. They're there when you're the weakest. They're your strength. And so but if you focus on your strengths, then you remain strong. But, and like I said, people focus, you focus on your weakness, you remain weak. So the thing is, what I've learned is, like, through the word, through the instruction book that we read all the time, everything, what it says through our weakness, Christ is made strong. So all we're a conduit of charge and change. You create the atmosphere you walk, breathe, and live in. And so it's not optimism, because optimism will fail you. You know why? Because the thing is, I teach empowerment coaching. If you have a battery, what gives you power is having a true negative and a true positive, going through a gauge, and then also having something that's going to keep it charged.
Josh, you did you mention you have a TBI?
Yes, severe traumatic brain injury.
And you rattle this stuff off with such passion.
Yeah.
Is there an answer for that? Or, I mean, because I can't remember half the stuff you even said already. And do
you remember the word, how I said every letter is a word for me? So, okay, I told you life. Okay. So if you're looking at spirituality aspect, is my faith, fully accepting, identify, trusting, and honoring. These are principles. So so what it is I have principles in my life, and I use pebbles to preserve the pillars. See, it's the smallest things in life that trip you up. It's not the pillars. It's always the smallest things that you forsake. Those are pebbles. But you got to stop focusing on the things that trip you up and focus on the one who always and will lift you up. And I can tell you, in the spirituality aspect, if you're looking at that aspect, it's very simple, because we have to have that childlike faith. That's what it says in the word. So the thing is, how do you have that childlike faith? Okay, it says in Hebrews, it says faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. I like to say not yet, because it says that every outer word will be judged. It says that it says what you do in secret, you know what I'm saying, you will be rewarded openly. But it also says that what I'm saying? Everything in darkness shall be revealed in light. So how do you know that you have faith? I call it love in action. Here it is it's evidence. Okay, so but it's substance first. So it's a faith is a substance of things hoped for. What is substance? It means tangible. You feel different. Okay, now what is the evidence? People see that you are different, and the things that you once got you down doesn't get you down anymore. So no matter what comes your way, you have to take what the enemy would use to wound you, and you have to put that fire inside. So people ask me all the time. This is the number one question I have. People ask me all the time on Q&As. They say, "Hey Joshua, how do you have so many irons in the fire?" I don't answer that question. What I do is I ask them the right question that they need to hear the right answer of. It's not the fact that I have all the irons in the fire. It's not about how many irons you have in the fire. It's about how much fire do you have in your iron. That changes everything, bro.
Yeah, man, I this is a me. I'm speaking for me. I'm honored. I'm blessed. I am selfish, and I selfishly own that in the fact that people have asked why do we do the People's Patriot Project, and I go because first of all, I believe we need to give back to those that have given so much already. It's the time, the talent, the treasure. That's another piece that we go through, but it's the continued giving of self, and not only self. And here we have a veteran here who's given his limbs, he's given his blood, he's given his sweat. He's got members of his family, brethren and sisterin, that are on dog tags because they're no longer with us. This is why we do what we do. And then at the same time, here I am being inspired by this man because woe is me and pity myself for little things that I don't get and want and make sure. And you're such a blessing, brother. And I don't do this show to gain anything for me personally, but I am gaining personally because we do this show. And my hopes are that that's the exact same thing that happens to other people that hear the show. That was why it was met. Andrew and I can share. Sorry not to leave Jonathan and Brian out here but they weren't here at the inoculation of the People's Patriot Project. But there was never, ever, ever going to be a chance that we were going to do a podcast. We teach during the day. I don't want to build new content. I don't want to run and chase the story. I don't want to do any of that stuff. And we've just been blessed. And we've been blessed for a moment like this one right here. We were blessed for the moment, Frank Gonzalez saying, "I can only imagine." We're blessed for every weekend we find this moment in space and time where the message of the person on screen as the influencer shares something very profound that not everyone has seen. And that's the other piece of why we do this, because there are 56,000 nonprofit organizations out there trying to get this done. And we're failing miserably, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry, because we haven't figured out how to work together. Now, the interesting piece, I also heard about this, and this is a post-show content conversation, is the first thing Josh said to the organizers of the flag is, "I don't want you to change a thing. I just want you to be there."
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, we got to figure this out. We got to figure out a way to work together. Yes, we can still do it together with 56,000, but I'm telling you right now, 56,000 organizations, and we still have 6,000 veterans commit suicide every year. Now, we're not going to save them all. We got called to the carpet on that one not too long ago. We're not going to save them all. I wish we could. I wish they'd hear us. I wish they'd take a moment to listen and realize I'd much rather have them in my life tomorrow. But at the same time, there are some people that have made the decision and they're just going to follow through with it. And that's why they don't tell anyone else, because they don't want anyone else to stop them. Yeah. We got to figure that piece out too, brothers and sisters. That's me getting on another soapbox, but at the same time, the cloud of inspiration here should be infecting the people that are hearing it. And we do hear and see some people commenting on the show tonight. And we thank you. I don't, forgive me, I won't be able to get Mr. Hussein. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for noticing and listening and taking time. Oh, this will be the one that spins me into the night and won't get any sleep, which is great. Jonathan, you got something for us, brother?
Well, I feel like I'm being put in a tough spot. No,
we can do I Can Only Imagine again. That'd be all right.
This one is I just listened to the story and the conversation, and I think on some levels we can relate to what you're saying about having so many irons in the fire. But I like the part you said about it's not about how many irons you got, but how much fire you got. But with all the irons in the fire, I think most people on this page would know that it's a grind nonstop, and just one step forward. Like you said, 1% improvement every day is a complete turnaround. So this song is actually called "Grind" by Malachi.
Grinding is about focusing on that end goal and not letting any distractions get in your way. For me, grinding was a way to cope with all the trauma and everything I'd been through. You get tunnel vision. And it's not easy. Like I say it, it sounds like I'm trying to make light of it, but it's not easy. You know, but you find that focal point. You don't stop. You do not stop ever. And you put everything into that. Everything. You never quit. Never quit. Never quit.
I'm walking, my eyes are stuck on the ground. People talking, broken lives follow me around. But they can't break me, they can't see what I have found and why it lifts me. As I grind on through this life, can you take me? It will cut you like a knife. Will
That is Malachias with Grind. We didn't do a gigantic, great job this year. That's on me. I'll take ownership of it. But right now, all the musicians are walking into the doors of the Grand Ole Opry down in Nashville for the Josie Awards tonight. And I saw Josh Davis. I saw C.W. Wooten, and I know that there's probably Adam Martin's probably
Shannon
down
Book.
there. Who?
Shannon Book.
Shannon Book.
There's probably a lot of them. Yeah.
There's a little part of me every time that we miss this event that just kind of grinds my gears, and it is what it is. And I got Andrea throwing very good proverbial shots of get your poo together and blah blah. It's I hate saying it. I've always hated this as a coach. We'll get them next year, or we'll do it again next year. I get it, and that's anti anything Josh is saying right now, because you just got to get up and you got to move forward. You got to get it done. And so there is not going to be another Josie Awards this year. So we'll get that planned for next year and make a presence down there. And Josh, we got to have you in Nashville with us when we do this thing. So you might have to move away from your bring your lemonade stand with you.
Absolutely.
And then we'll just sit out there. We could do that on the red carpet and hand out some lemonade to we'll buy it up, and then we'll give it to the guests that come by and the veterans that come see us. And yeah. And then we'll have Patriot Punch up and going by that time. We'll talk. We'll get this.
No, for sure. Well, one thing I want to is
go ahead.
You're talking about musicians. So there's a musician that I'm working with. I got out of the hospital, and he was actually one of our Unity Field speakers. His name is Glenn Baker. He's a Desert Storm veteran, but he just finished a track, and actually just released yesterday, actually 2 days ago, on YouTube, and it's called Finish Strong, and it's going to be part of what's called a Soldier Strong tour. And what he's doing is, and I'm actually in the music video. Me and my wife, we went to Georgia, down to Woodstock, Georgia, and did a music video. I was nonverbal at the time, so I'm in the rehab scene. You kind of see me in some of the beat track and stuff like that. But the song Finish Strong, it's an amazing song, but it's for a Soldier Strong tour. And he's doing it not just to raise money, but he's also doing it to do it for a cause. And that cause is he's putting 100 paralyzed veterans back on their feet through exoskeleton suits. And I'm number one.
That's
Look
awesome.
at you, brother.
I was just stalking a little bit, and I was hoping he was a veteran that we could reach out to as well. That's perfect.
Yeah, and I actually spoke with him before the event, and so he's going to be having a red carpet event come together. And whenever we get all that going, it probably will be around Georgia or so like that. I'll let you guys know, because it would be a great way we can network and also continue to put everything on as well. And so this is what I want, and this is what Still Hope is all about. Is we want to help connect those dots where resources are overlapping services and organizations are overlapping organizations, rather than trying to compete, trying to compare, or trying to complain about what someone else is not doing or what they are doing. Like having to have it known that we're doing this. And when you say you're doing this, it's like that you're the only one doing it. And if every single organization was fully funded and we had everything running like steam engines, guys, there would still be such a lack. Like I looked at it. So like, for instance, if just in Fort Worth, Texas alone. Okay. So if my organization was running full speed ahead and we were working with 100 veterans every single week, do you know it would take over 30 years for us to touch every veteran in Fort Worth?
Mm-hmm.
There's such a need.
You're not wrong, Josh. Now think that, even if, and let's say you did work with 100, which you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's look at the 46,000 organizations. Let me rephrase: 56,000 organizations in this country. Now put 2 zeros on the end of that, and we've covered the problem. And that's so. I'm not going to blow your. I'm not going to blow. So I kind of feel like I'm the little guppy in the fishbowl with this gigantic barracuda, Josh, who's just waiting and waiting. He's waiting by the log, and he's going to gobble up. Josh, I'm not going to blow your mind with any of this stuff, but we're going to talk about some stuff post-show that I think maybe we can do some stuff. I think we can. But we've had this conversation. What episode are we on? Episode 200 and
24.
Yeah. So having amazing people like Andrea and saying J Train and saying and Captain Brian, just having your team that you have, brother. The thing is, like, we can overlap because, like I said, I've already got the property set aside here, and it can be a national-wide training center, and it's literally set aside for such as this. We can do the 1 to 7 day retreat. We can have a 1 day event, and it won't cost anything because I've already got the property. All we got to do is just connect the dots. That's it.
This is too easy.
It is.
And I'm going to, we pull the reins back, Mark. We'll get there. We'll gobble this thing up. Hey, so this is a great segue into what is the great next amazing thing for Joshua and Still Hope. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I can tell you, so I'm a writer, just so you guys know. After having that stroke and everything like that, and Crystal said, got to find purpose through your pain, I wrote 8 Letters to God. It became my first book called Some of My Life Lessons, which is on Amazon today. It's a blueprint to everything I do. And I literally give thousands of copies of that book away on a monthly basis because it's my seed of hope. So I put that seed in other people's hands so they will place hope inside their heart. And so that's what I started with. Then I did a second book called Life After the Fall, which was my mentor. His name is Dave Reaver. He's a Vietnam veteran. He was 1 second away from throwing a white phosphorus grenade in Vietnam. Enemy sniper shot him in the hand, which blew the grenade in his face. He lost 65 pounds of flesh in 1 second. He was mentored by a guy named Billy Graham, and his second book was endorsed by a guy named Ronald Reagan, as we know, as our president, called Scarred. So I traveled with Dave for over 10 years while starting my own foundation, and we began to connect all these different dots. So then that what trained me to be a resiliency coach and help people overcome. And so that's what we're doing.
Outstanding. A little profound message I saw today, and I've been able to over time this year. There was a time where I needed to take a small break, and I'm not a guy that likes to take breaks. And I don't know that I even can convince myself to take a break and I don't want to stand next to this Josh guy at any given point because he's going to win the race regardless. It came across as a gentle reminder. If you don't schedule a break, your body will take one for you, and it probably won't be at a convenient time for anybody. So think about that, brothers and sisters. If you are pushing it, and we do need to have this conversation with or our organizational leaders because they don't know when to slow, they don't know when to stop, they don't know when to give up, and which is a good thing. But at the same time, if you are feeling like you need a break, find the break, find the support, and get it done. We're here for you. Are we ending on a song, or do we don't want to do a song now and come back for final thoughts?
Oh my God. We can end with a song. I'm ready for that.
Okay. So let's do final thoughts.
My final thoughts will also lead into the last song, but there's a lot of things in life that we go through, and me personally sitting here right now, everything in life that I've been through, I can kind of look at and say small potatoes, right? But the truth is you're given something that's going to turn you into the person you were supposed to be. For some people, that's a little more extreme than others. For some people, it takes a little bit less. I don't have the blueprint for your life. You don't have the blueprint for your life. So just live it and know at the end of the day, no matter what, life is good.
Mr. Kinzer.
Yeah. So my thought is, a lot of us, most of us that are listening and talking here have given our time, our sanity, our body parts, and some of us our life to protect this country. And now that we're back and that time has passed and others have taken that role, take care of this country. We fought for it. We made it what it was. Make sure you take good care of it now that we're back here, and do your part.
Josh, what are your final thoughts, brother?
My final thoughts would just be consistent and don't complain. Do your part to help no matter what. And then just help somebody. Get outside yourself, your circumstance, situation. Look over yourself. Just for a moment, just look over yourself. But also take care of yourself. Self-care is the best care. You have to take care of yourself. Because if you're not healthy, then no one else, you can't help unless you're healthy. So you have to have a healthy mind, a consistent moving body, because atrophy sets in and your nerves are dead. And then also, you have to have power outside of self. You have to have stronger people around you so you can be weak in the moment and they can hold you for that moment while you're resting, you're healing, and then come back even stronger. So I always tell people, you only have a setback to have a greater comeback. It's like a spring. You compress it and you release it.
Miss Eichmann.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've taken down notes for almost everything that's coming out of Josh's mouth. And oh my gosh, I started with shoot, move, and communicate. Right down to the our heartbeats for others. I mean, seriously, I think that's why we're all here. I really truly do. If we didn't care about others, we wouldn't be here. It's always the server's heart, whether it was military, first responder, teachers, nurses, whatever, serving other people. I feel like we find each other. And so now we need to take that step like Josh is talking about, connect everybody together who's out there for the right reasons and doing it the right way. And let's get this rolling. Like, let's build the net. Let's build the net. Let's strap on, shut up, and step out and focus on our strengths. And let's get out there and let's just do this. Let's catch them.
And our guest for next week.
I was on social. Okay, so and our guest for next week, you guys, we've got this is gonna be cool. We've got Colonel retired Michael Burrows, and he is oh my gosh, he's in a lot of groups and he's so full of energy, and he's gonna be an amazing guest and talk about all of his parts and pieces that he puts together. And then I said, hey, you know a lot of people. Do you know any musicians? And he said, could I have Dave Bray come on? And so I reached out to Dave's wife who scheduled him, and Dave Bray Music will be on the show with us as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Rockin'. Well, first thing I'd like to get to is our call to action. Every weekend we ask that our brothers and sisters that are listening and those that have, you're still our brother and sister. If you're here listening to us, you're part of the family. That's the way it works. But we have people come on and you see the memes, you see the gifs. So people that do push-ups, wah, 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 wah. People who do ruck march, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? You know, hey, you do what's you're available to do. You do what you're capable of doing. One of the things that we do is we communicate with our devices every weekend. We'd like you to do it every day. We reach out to 6 people and say, I was just thinking about you. By no means do we think that this is going to save every single person in the world. Don't think that. What we do believe is that it creates conversation. It creates a piece. The human body is meant to be, and mind is meant to be involved in relationships. And if they're in your phone, there was a relationship at some point. And so we ask you to just say, thinking about you. And that is just we're hoping a trigger to create a conversation and or something to grow out of a conversation. We do challenge you to take one of those relationships that got sideways a little bit because someone did something silly or stupid or misunderstood. And that's where we're at. I challenge you, have that harder conversation. Hey, long time, was just thinking about you. What can we do to bury the hatchet, so to speak? That is our call to action. For me, and I might misquote it a little bit, but it was so profound tonight. Josh Holm, made the statement, pebbles to preserve the pillars. And it is the concept and the idea that we try so hard to save the big function of the entirety. We do it all the time, the People's Patriot Project. We get stuck in preserving what we've created, and we forget about the tiny stuff that worked, the tiny stuff that needs to be paid attention to, the tiny things that need to be addressed to make the big things happen. And it's not like we're washing, but this is kind of a foundation conversation, because you may have this amazing, beautiful mansion built on the sand. And if the sand washes away, what good is your mansion, right? So we have to focus on the small things, and we will build and continue to build through that process. I'm assuming Josh's phone may have died, and we're missing him now, and that's okay. It's sad. I won't get to have the exciting post-show conversation that I really wanted to have with him. And again, we will come circle and make sure we get to have that conversation with Josh again. Thank you for everyone that came on tonight and shared. There's just a slew of people we Andrea and myself even had this conversation this week. What do we call the people that come and comment on the show? Because they are guests, but then we have like our physical guests. We're going to have that debate and have that conversation. We call it family. You're our family. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. And thank you for making the difference in other people's lives. Jonathan, what we got?
This is Stephen John. Life is good.
Patriot Pride.
I've got 40 hours of paycheck in the pocket of these jeans. Got these Jensen's cranking George Strait circa 1993. Got the windows down and my arm laid up on the back of this bench seat. I'm headed toward the drive, the sweet little Cajun queen. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. Pull on over to the shoulder, baby, can I have this dance? Truck doors open, she moves closer, persuaded by a happy man. Her head on my chest, my hand on her hips, honeysuckle floating on the breeze. Hope these cars flying by don't pay us no mind, cause I don't ever want to leave. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. I ain't worried about nothing. Well, I ain't worried about a thing. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about a thing. Life is good, got this sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me.